They got Miles lined up inside.
12-year veteran.
Yeah. Miles lined up over center.
Clear protocol is in there.
Look, what's Miles doing? Is he dribbling?
So we'll call it 3rd and 5.
Oh my God, he got there. Yes, sir. Miles Garrett taught it before he got the pressure that created the sack. He dribbled a basketball, a fake basketball 3 times before he... What? Miles Garrett is insane. Come on, Deshaun. We need you to get comfy, man.
8 carries as a rookie. Drop the snap. They give it to him anyway.
Oh, good run. Oh, my God.
Recovered by
Oh.
the Bengals. Amuzie. Promising drive ends after a mishap.
And our partner Evan Washburn told us that conditions were challenging for pass catchers. I would say all that and ball carriers as well. They dropped the ball in the initial snap, then the ball's popped free on the run.
It must be wet as hell out there. Still can't happen. Again, 2 drives in, like, I just don't think Watson's found his comfort throwing the ball for whatever reason. Maybe it's the conditions, but it's clear to me he doesn't have the comfort that he wants pulling that trigger for the ball. He's got to figure out what's bothering him. You know what I mean? Because clearly something is bothering him. Like, that part is obvious. So passing game, that's got to get itself handled. Running game looks fine, so that's good. Defense looks fine. We just gotta make sure Watson can settle himself into the game. Again, it might be the weather conditions. We joke about it on this channel. The man's never had a decent weather game in Cleveland. Like, the first day it's sunny at a 1 o'clock game will be the first time he's ever played in a good weather game here for whatever reason. But yeah, just got to get settled in. I mean, that's the issue with the offense right now. I just think Watson's not settled, and that's having an effect on the whole offense. You know, he fumbles a snap. It's not a coincidence that the ball gets fumbled on that same play. It just doesn't, people don't feel confident right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to settle himself in. Hopefully he does. If he does, we'll be straight.
2nd and 7.
Just throws it out of. I think it's the weather, because Joe Burrow's having a hard time getting the ball out of his hands. Yeah, it looks bad out of both quarterbacks' hands. Maybe that's the problem. It's the weather. I didn't really notice it because Joe Burrow hasn't had time to throw the ball. But even when he's throwing, he looks really hesitant to let it off. I think the weather is really just affecting this game right now. This is why I argue for a dome, man, because these things, these conditions, they change games. And when you're in the modern NFL and you want to throw the ball and the best teams throw the ball, you're basically saying, hey, unless we have a team that's not good enough to win the championship, the weather is not going to affect you, right? If you could just run the ball, that's cool, but you're not going to get to no Super Bowl running the ball in the modern NFL. You're going to get to the Super Bowl by the strength of your quarterback. And we can't continue to handicap the to kneecap the quarterback position by continuing to force the quarterbacks to play in these rain conditions, cold weather, late in the season. Like, I know you want a quarterback that's going to play through it and all that, but why even take the risk? You know, why put something that's not going to work to your advantage in your way at a home game? Josh Dobbs almost threw a pick 6. It's not about how we feel about it. It's not about how cool or tough you think a dome is or isn't. It is, wow, great throw, Trevor. It is simply about what actually gives you a competitive advantage. And what gives you a competitive advantage is knowing, hey, we're going to have 8 games a year in the conditions that we want. Guaranteed. I ain't got to worry about no weather. We're going to get 8 games a year in the conditions we want. We can practice because we know that we're playing half of our season in the conditions we want. That's the benefit, in my opinion. Think about how hard we've made our kickers' lives, how hard we've made it so hard to score points in our own stadium.
During the break of the action, just massaging that.
All right, let's talk about what's going on in the game, because I bet there's people who are frustrated with the offense right now, and I don't blame them. One, I think the conditions are much worse than they appear on television. It's obvious that it's affecting the Bengals offense. It's obvious it's affecting the Cleveland Browns offense. So one, the weather conditions are a problem. Two, that can't be the full excuse for either team, right? Joe Burrow has to find a way to find comfort in these weather conditions the same way that Deshaun Watson has to find a way to get comfortable in these conditions. Figure out what throws he can make. Figure out what he needs to adjust to make throws here. Joe Burrow does have more experience in these conditions than Deshaun Watson, so that might be something that's beneficial. So in the moment right now, while I want a dome, and that would be a long-term solution, in the moment right now, what's important is that Deshaun Watson finds some comfort. He's got to find a way to be a productive quarterback in these conditions because that dome ain't coming no time soon. So you got to find a way to find your comfort here, right? That's part of playing the quarterback position in the East Coast, in the north side of the country, in these weather, anywhere that gets the 4 seasons as part of the game. So he has to figure out how he can find comfort, how he can figure out how he's going to make these throws because they're open, right? Elijah Moore, not wide open, but open enough there, has space. His corner falls down. He gets that ball in the right spot. Elijah Moore catches that in stride, scores a touchdown. You're up 7-0. Earlier in the first drive, he had a backside dig. For whatever reason, did not feel comfortable letting it off, even though it was open. Has to run, gets sacked. It was there, doesn't take it. 4th down, got to punt. Got to find some comfort. I understand it's not like how it is when it's not raining, but you have to find some comfort in these conditions or else we're just going to be complaining about the rain all season, right? The reason you bring in Deshaun Watson is because we want him to overcome some of this adversity. So he has to figure out a way to find comfort in an uncomfortable situation. Hey, you'd rather be the Browns right now than the Bengals also in this game because what the Browns are struggling with is just execution. Their guys are open. The plays are there. They're getting the shit off clean. They're just not executing in the back end. That can change with the weather. The Bengals are just struggling right now. Hey, if you want to feel better, Kenny Pickett's 5 of 9 for 9 yards right now. No, that's something. Brock Purdy, on the other hand, 14 of 20, 154, 2 touchdowns.
Elijah Moore just trying to get him.
Oh, wow. He's got it across field.
Moore hits him right.
Oh, he's still on his feet. Elijah Moore electric. Might want to call a timeout, though. Clock's still running.
And the yardage to stand.
Hey, off coverage. Off coverage. Got him. Oh, David Bell. Hey, 2nd down. Stop the clock. We're fine. It's basically you spike the ball. That's all that happened.
If it's on the back shoulder and the feet slide.
Oh, it's right there, David. It's right there, David.
Slid out from under him and he tried to come to the backside to catch the ball.
It's now 3rd and long.
We got Super Chat, Professor Chaos. Thank you, 49er defense, for the points. Pick it up. Got it. There we go.
1st down, Amari Cooper. So to get to that target line.
Way to pick up the blitz. Way to be aware, Dewan. Way to be aware, Dewan. That ball still came out weird.
And it's going to require patience.
Got it. Oh, beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. Oh, my goodness. He just threaded that one right over top the linebacker. Oh, my God.
With excellent concentration, first on the ball, coming with a hand in his
That stopped the clock, right?
The second part, taking the hit from Awuzie. DPJ.
Woo!
Big body receiver. Haven't seen as much challenge with him as I would.
Hey, if they send it, middle field open. If they send it, middle field open.
Same bunch.
Play the drive. Watson.
Got it. He's got it. He's in. Touchdown. Let's go. Hey, what did I say? What did I say? If they send it middle field open, right? They send it middle open. They sent it. He saw it middle open. Way to read it. Way to read it.
Cleveland adds to its lead.
And this was I can't.
Way to read it.
Nice block there by Wyatt Teller. Jedrick Will, 71, helping lead. Amari Cooper.
Good check. Way to check into it.
Block. But the eye candy part of it was.
Way to check into it. Way to check into it. Great play call. Great check. Great operation there.
Take that info. Watson twirls. Out of trouble. Throws. Intercepted. Picked up by Dents.
What was he thinking on that?
Marker down.
What happened? Why did he throw that?
Ready for it. Hill in just his second year.
That penalty's on the Browns, so it's not going to bail them out. Yeah. What was he thinking?
It's going to stay turnover. Cleveland.
What did he see? Now, I got to see that one again. I have no clue why he threw that. He just tossed that one. Was he trying to get it out of bounds? Like, what was going on? Yeah, I'll wait till the replay to have an opinion. Yeah, I got to see the replay. There's got to be some explanation on why he threw that I just did not see from the broadcast angle. Because it just looked like he tossed it there, like he thought the play was dead. I can't imagine what he saw. Okay, it just got tipped. Okay, that's it. Okay, I didn't see the tip when it happened. It got tipped. What did he see, though? Like, I don't know what he saw. Still an ill-advised throw. It got tipped, though. Delpit, great coverage.
Delpit with him, step for step.
Great coverage there. I was scared. He didn't get his head around. They could have called a flag on it.
They tried everything here. Grant Delpit is a safety.
And he just gets his hand on the ball. That's why it's not pass interference. He gets his hand on the ball beforehand.
Wide receiver 2 for Cincinnati. Be wide receiver.
Good deflection. That's a legit deflection by Grant Delpit.
Higgins remind me in the old days.
They're going to kick another field goal here.
And Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison being wide receiver.
They're fortunate to get out that situation without it being a tie game.
51-yard attempt for McPherson. Career long.
It's going to be a tough field goal to make here. And it's not going to go. So the interception costs you nothing. The Browns defense, man, that's the second turnover that they completely bailed the offense out for. Completely bailed the offense out for, man. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You got to take advantage of that missed opportunity by Cincy. People are making fun of Zach McPherson for missing that field. It's a 51-yard field goal in sideways rain, dog. That's a 50-50 bet. Like, I don't blame him for missing that field goal. That's just a tough spot. It's more of a credit to the defense for forcing that field goal to be from the 55-yard line. That is not a fail on Zach McPherson. That is a win for the Cleveland Browns defense. Point blank, period. They won that possession by forcing that field goal to be plus 50 yards. Plus 50-yard field goals, like 70, 80% completion percentage at best for the best kickers. Guy like Zach McPherson is probably going to be like 60 to 70. And then you add in the rain and all the wind in the stadium. That's a win by the defense. They took advantage of the situation, didn't let Cincy get a bunch of yards, even though they got good field position, and held them to a long field goal attempt to get them off the field. That is winning on the defensive side.
They have not come to terms. Burrow, step and throw.
That stopped. Grant Delpit again.
Delpit, well short of the first down. Felt that
Hey, special teams aren't a story. It's good. They're 16-3. You feel good. I want another touchdown, though.
Is sponsored by James.
We got a super chat here from Brent Watson who says, "Thank you, Q, for running York out of town." I didn't run York out of town.
And by Geico.
York ran York out of town.
It's easy to Geico.
Remember, it was like this last year in the opener, and then we let Carolina get back into it with two miscommunications in the secondary. Joe Burrow is much better than Baker Mayfield. You cannot feel comfortable here. I don't care. 13 points is not a comfortable lead.
And here comes more bodies. Joe Burrow.
That's Delpit again. Grant Delpit has been the second best player on this defense, and Denzel Ward's having a tremendous day.
It looks like Cincinnati's keeping their offense on the field.
They got to try to get something going. They're desperate.
It's really working. And Zach Taylor's saying it's now or never to try and get something done.
Miles and Za'Darius lined up on the right side here. Watch that. Miles wins. Gets back there. Gets a sack. Huge play. Myles Garrett. Giant play. That's a big one. I told you to watch it. They had Za'Darius and Miles inside, outside shoulder there on Jonah Williams. They were trying to take advantage of that matchup all game. They chipped him. It didn't matter. Miles muscled through it and then somehow grabbed Joe Burrow going the opposite way. One of the most impressive sacks you'll see in Jonah Williams' struggles versus Myles Garrett just continue to pile up as he has been all over this game. He hasn't had a sack, and there it is on 4th down, the biggest moment so far in this game. Myles Garrett comes through. Big-time players come through in big moments.
Take over on downs after a
Huge stop there. The Browns get the ball on their own 20, on the Bengals 20. One game, but Schwartz has changed everything. I mean, we didn't. Back corner, Deshaun. Oh. It don't matter. All right, let the clock die out a little bit. They got Nick Harris in there? Easy money. Let's go. The Browns have been the better football team today. Looks like everything we said about that roster, it looks true. Hell, Deshaun's had a shaky one today, but even his shakiness has been better than Joe Burrow's shakiness. Deshaun has still found a way to be productive. Mark Matter Wolf says, let's go defense. Defense, man, if they can finish these 9 minutes out, if they finish these 9 minutes out clean, this is the most impressive defensive performance I have seen in a Cleveland Browns jersey in decades. You talk about not just showing up. The Browns have lost the turnover margin today. Zach Taylor for MVP, Dog Pound back. Appreciate the super chat. But the thing is about today is the Browns have lost the turnover margin by 2. They're -2 in the turnover margin. It has not mattered. This defense is erasing the mistakes of the offense, and the offense is still finding a way to execute, not at the level that you wanted it to today, but the weather was a factor. But it's still at a significantly higher level than what the Bengals have put out. 3rd and 4, get them off the field here.
You guys have laid it out so well throughout this game, but just to give you a sense, field level, the energy.
The fact that we had Joe Woods for 3 years.
Jim Schwartz, guys, the whole game, he's up and down the sideline. He's bombastic on big 3rd down stops. A setup like this right now, he's bringing that energy. And I think that's the pulse of this team. Watson may have the contract, but it's the defense that thinks this group. And then talk about Brandon Lynch on their coaching staff who played for Jim earlier in his career. Said that Jim Schwartz is the exact same guy, and his defense is fully bought in with him.
They got ammo on Jace. No way. Grant Delpit again.
by Delpit, who has been all over the place for the Cleveland Browns.
Thornhill's not even out there. That's a great point that somebody just brought up in chat. Juan Thornhill's not even out there. I mean, look at how much better. These aren't new guys that we're seeing dominate. This is Myles Garrett. This is Denzel Ward. This is Grant Delpit. This is JOK. These are the same guys from last year, and it's night and day. Oh, they took Joe Burrow out.
Few days.
All right, it's a wrap. That's a wrap, y'all. They took Joe Burrow out. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Disappointed.
Cleveland is Cleveland, Brad F. Cleveland is Cleveland, right?
They have Taffley.
That's a bold thing to say when you've beaten the Cleveland Browns one time in your entire career. Cleveland is Cleveland. Talking all that shit. Talking all that shit for what?